Are you having problems in the bedroom? Are you having problems with your sex life? Well, I know just who to talk to, and that's Lori. CoachingByLori.com is where you could set up voice, video, or text sessions to talk about sex, to talk about intimacy, kinks, fetishes, taboos, fantasies, or your sexuality. You could talk about coming out and what to expect when you come out. Lori is a sex therapist and talks about your sexual health. Lori's offering all new clients 20% off their first session with the coupon code WELCOME. That's coaching by Lori, LORIE.com. Coupon code WELCOME, WELCOME, for 20% off your first session. Ladies and gentlemen, Suds Media is an official affiliate of the WWE Shop. Whether you want merchandise from the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, or the Hall of Famers, the New World Order, or from WrestleMania itself, scan the QR code on the screen or go to suds-media.com/wrestling merch, and it gives us a commission to help our show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dockside at the Bay. My name is Vinny. This is Kim. As always, Kim is back after last week's hiatus, which for those of you who watched and or listened, you got treated to Angela, who's my co-host on Suds News, and her first experience with the Bay.
I'm glad that Angela was able to dive in and get it, start. I'm assuming now that she's completely hooked. So.
Oh yeah, she's. Although I talked to her last night, she didn't get a chance to fully binge Bay at the beginning yet because of the kids she nannies for were on vacation last week, so it's kind of hard. But she's getting there.
There's still time.
But yeah, the first episode hooks you right through. But Kim, how are you?
Doing all right. Just I'm a happy soap fan today, because
yes,
not only was I able to go in, rewatch the Bay, but Beyond the Gates has fully impressed me in its past 2 episodes, and it's really fun having a new soap to watch. And there were even some moments on days today that made me pretty happy, and so yeah, fun day to be a soap fan.
Yes, a very fun day, fun week. This is the premiere week for Beyond the Gates. Last week CBS did something really smart, and they had the 5-part episode, 5-part miniseries, kind of leading into it, where it was Beyond the Gates, Welcome to the Neighborhood, a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and just getting everybody acclimated to tuning in at the time slot, and getting people to know the characters, the stories, the sets, and just everything in Fairmount Crest. So it is absolutely fantastic. We're recording on Tuesday, February 25th. So we're 2 episodes into what I feel is going to be at least a 30 to 60 year run for Behind the Gates. And it started off great. I like how yesterday's episode, the very first episode, introduced all the main characters in such a way where it didn't feel in your face, right, but it was still it was establishing.
Yeah, it set the tone for this family, for where they are in the community, for their their legacy there, and you get introduced to like this group that are just they're so compelling right from the jump, and it just made for some really entertaining TV. And I'm excited to have a soap to just tune into every day and be excited about, and just it's a good feeling, especially knowing it's just this is the first time I've been able to experience that.
Yeah. The rising tide raises all ships. So
precisely,
the fact that we have a brand new soap opera in the genre now should be able to give light a fire under the ass of the other 4 soap operas, as
create
well as
a little competition and create a little bit of because let's face it, and not to break, the Bay is kind of a separate entity from this, but I feel like with the network soaps, I don't know, I was listening to some some podcasts and some people chatting on Twitter about just various their takes on Beyond the Gates and everything like that. And one thing really stuck with me, how it's almost as if like soaps have gotten comfortable with the fact that they have that audience that is going to tune in no matter what to see their faves. Therefore, the writing can kind of be a little, But when you've got a new kid on the block that's really like coming in hot and able to just tell all the stories of all these characters in a really compelling way, hopefully it'll just make everyone kind of elevate their game a little bit and just know that, like, yeah, okay, people are tuning in to see their faves, but they also want to tune in to see these new stories, and they want to tune in to see, like, these, hopefully it'll just kind of force everyone to kind of, I don't know, just not be as comfortable with the fact that, yeah, we're going to tune every day to go and see, like, our faves on GH or our faves on Days, even if the writing is a little bit, when we see the writing is good, it's like, well, yeah, we're going to start expecting that from the others too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And the Beyond the Gates has such an all-star writing team right now.
They do.
From obviously created by Michelle Valjean, as well as Bob Guza is in there, who did great with GH.
And Gregory Martin, I know, is
Gregory Martin, Ron Carlovati.
There's you've got quite the talented group of people in that room. But it's just nice to see, though, just new fresh storytelling, new characters to sink our teeth into and start enjoying, and just you get that escape, you get that fun drama, and it's just it's a fun time to be a soap fan, as I said.
It is definitely a fun time to be a soap fan, I will say that. And speaking of fun, next Monday night, after Suds News will be on 8 o'clock at its normal time slot. However, after that, at 10 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be doing Gate Crashers, which will be talking about the first week of Beyond the Gates. It'll be Kim, Angela, and I talking all about this first debut week of Beyond the Gates. And we'll be going over everything, breaking it down for you. So that's next Monday night live. That'll be the... in order to be the 4th of March. Oh yeah, March 3rd. Can't believe we're already into March. We're going to be into March.
Time is an illusion.
So yeah, March 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern is Gate Crashers, right after Suds News at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, in 3 weeks, on March 17th, Monday, March 17th, we're going to have our Selection Monday episode of Suds News, where we draw the names for the second annual Soap Stars March Madness tournament. This year, there are a couple changes. I am adding Beyond the Gates into the brackets. So General Hospital and Days of Our Lives will still have their own brackets. And Bold and the Beautiful will stay in a bracket with the Bay, seeing as they're both half-hour shows. And then Y&R and Beyond the Gates will be in the CBS bracket. So they'll be in their own bracket. So that's how it's going to be set up this year. Also, another change. Last year we did it specifically on Twitter, on X, with the X polls. This year we're expanding. So we're going to do X polls, and we're going to do Blue Sky polls as well. Mm-hmm. So follow us on Blue Sky at Suds Media. I believe that's what I have it as. It's Suds Media on Blue Sky, and then on Twix, it's also at Suds Media. So definitely go ahead and get those set up, because they'll be on both. I don't know. Maybe I'm rethinking that now as I'm talking about it. Maybe I shouldn't do both, because people can go back and forth and vote multiple times.
Well, we'll think on it.
We'll think about it. And see how to do it. But either way, it's going to be fun this year. Last year's winner, John Black, almost put a jinx on him. But unfortunately,
I think it was, we're giving him his flowers,
good send-off,
showing him some love. So, but can't believe it's March Madness time, all that's rolling around again. It's wild, but I'm looking forward to being able to kind of, it was a fun competition last year, and I'm looking forward to being able to get into that again.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it again. We'll set all the stuff in motion coming up soon. As always, do want to let everybody know we are an official WWE shop affiliate, which is powered by Fanatics. Go over to suds-media.com/wrestling merch, and anything you buy utilizing that URL gives us a commission to help us with our shows and everything at suds-media.com/wrestling merch, which is our affiliate link for WWE Shop. Also, if you need any kind of relationship help or relationship coaching, sex coaching, or life coaching, Coaching by Lori is one of our newest advertisers. That's Coaching by Lori, LORIE.com. Use the promo code WELCOME for 20% off your first session. Again, that's Coaching by Lori, LORIE, and the promo code WELCOME for 20% off your first session. All right. So we kind of got all the announcements out of the way, kind of touched on Beyond the Gates a little bit. Now we're ready to get into season 5, episode number 2 of Emmy Award winning The Bay. And I'm telling you, the show was really, really good. And you brought it up before we started recording. Steve's creep factor was all over the place.
Just when you think that he's reached that kind of, peak when it comes to just the overall, freaky factor, we see the episode that, we see this episode. Yes. And it's just, I swear, it's like, if it's just, it's disturbing how well Matthew Ashford can just play this character that you are you're drawn to it, you're repulsed, you feel every mix of possible emotion watching those scenes. And, masterfully done, masterfully acted, obviously. And, you've got the chemistry, as twisted as like the scenes are, you see the chemistry between, Matthew Ashford, Mary Beth Evans. It's there, it's real. You can tell that they've played these beats before. They we've, and it just was on a whole other level. I just kept on in my notes I wrote ick so many times it became redundant. Like just a lot of and the thing is, it's not even like that, central, it's part of the episode, but it's not the full episode. It's like, the scenes are kind of brief, but as brief as they are, they made have such a creepy impact, and it's just disturbing, but we'll get into it.
Well, I mean, let's just kind of go with it. I mean, that's the main storyline. Sarah finally got to escape from Steve's clutches, but the way she did it was she kind of gave him a false sense of security that she was just playing along, that she still loved him, and just trying to butter up his ego.
Just really kind of switched on a dime in the last episode, because she goes from combative and fighting him and yelling at him and just what are you doing to me, why am I here, what is all of this. She really does just kind of do a pull a 180, does a really good, Sarah can act. Because Sarah puts on just like the kind of doe-eyed sort of look where she's just kind of we were just teenagers, we can still, and it just, he's eating it up. You can tell, like, even though he knows that, like, he's still he's eating up what she's saying, and just really drawn in. And Matthew Ashford just conveys that so well. He's like so drawn into her, and so just like really it's just when he starts though, like, it picks up when, she's in that, kind of not trying to, kind of trying to seduce him a little bit. And then, he just starts, telling her it's okay that they can start over. But then he comes with the hair sniffing and the creepy breathing and just like the weird look in his eye. It's just, oh my God. It's just too much. And it's like, it's kind of a blessing that the scenes are short, because it's just, if that had gone on for an extended, it just would have been too much to watch. Too uncomfortable to watch. And that just is a testament to how well acted it was. But just, it hits a point of just being so repulsive and creepy, especially like, but, and then, just to carry into it, because, that they pick up with the pendant thing as well. Yeah. Which we had seen in the previous episodes, which, that's an ugly pendant. I'm sorry.
It really is.
It's not an attractive piece of jewelry at all. It's got these funky little skull things on it. I mean, like, but, he's all the dialogue, I can't forget it. It's like you, it's magic. And it's like what he's saying sounds charming, sounds nice, but the way that he's saying it, it's just, it still comes off as creepy as all hell. And then, when he says he wants her to wear it, it's like, no, now it's just getting weird.
Yeah.
Just, and then even with the negligee that the goons decided that they were going to like gift to her, he just is like, you don't need this, you don't need anything. And then he starts grabbing at her shirt. It's just like, no, stop it.
Yeah, but then
just,
she does something smart. She says, I'm going to go take a shower. I want to freshen up.
Yeah.
Come
no,
out.
she's thinking.
Nice.
She knows what she's doing. She's got a plan, thank God. But even like when he reacts to like her, like, yeah, go take a nice long hot shower. I'll always be right here. It's just like, oh my God.
It gives you the heebie-jeebies.
It totally does. It totally does.
Just from his dialogue and how he says it. Not even the dialogue itself, but just how he says it.
Yeah.
Matthew Ashford, I'm sorry, could win Villain of the Year for no matter what he, if he puts his heart into it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And I mean, we even have like, the scenes were brief, but they were there. They were present. They were very, very just a focal part of the episode for sure. Same with that hotel. Again, There's got to be some sort of, like, they really want us to know about this place in LA.
Yeah.
They really, Boulevard, they cut to that exterior quite a bit. And they really want us to know about this little hotel. But
yeah, that's a swanky looking hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, all things considered. He is trying to, make it a memorable experience, this whole. But when he's sitting on they cut back to him sitting on the floor, and he calls her Blondie, but then he's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't call. And he's listening to like jazz music in the background. And, he's just kind of got this like weird kind of dazed look on his eye, but then he's got a knife in his hand and he just looks straight up psychotic.
Yeah.
He really does.
The box cutter in his hand. Yeah. And just like which I'm sorry, where did it come from? Like, what's the meaning of the box cutter? Like, I don't get it.
I mean, it's just so threatening. It's like, he starts just talking about like, he says Sarah in just this creepy tone.
It's not even threatening, it's deranged.
TikTok. Yes, absolutely. Threatening, whole mix of emotions just watching this. You're just like, okay, so now what? He's gonna like go and like pull like a psycho and then go in with the shower and just start. What is his plan here? And he's all like, "Are we ready?" And he goes in. And it almost hit the point of like mustache twirling villain in that moment.
Yes.
It's like, okay, like
he's gonna tie her to train tracks.
Yeah. It just straight up kind of felt like, I mean, because before, like when we had the previous scenes with them where he kind of gets a little bit more vulnerable and kind of explain, we had that layer, we had that depth. Now he is just straight up like black hat, mustache twirling, freak who's gonna like go and probably like, we think he's gonna go in like and slice Sarah up with a box cutter or something. We don't know what he's gonna do, but it's just like
he goes to the door and because he realized the shower's been on for quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, freshening up, it can take a bit, but it definitely takes a bit when you are clawing your way into a ceiling vent, which, okay, she's like a tiny little thing. I'd really love to know how you managed to like get up into like I mean, kudos to her. I still don't really know how she pulled that off.
Chair in there or anything. Like she probably stood on the edge of the tub, to get the panel down and then to jump up there and have the upper body strength after being held captive for weeks.
And also drugged, most likely, when she was underneath that.
Malnourished. Yeah. I mean, she definitely had the adrenaline flowing through her veins, but
oh yeah. But
she got out of there. She went through the vent and escaped.
Yep. And then his saying, like, that's my girl, while at the same time, like, running off and like finding his goons and being like, well, now we have to go and kill her. It's just like, oh my god.
It's almost like I would love to see, or they should be making some kind of a gif or a meme of them like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where she slips out and he's trying to do something and gets squashed by an anvil or something.
Basically, defeated again. Yeah. But we do get that scene when he like runs out to like go and see Logan, and we get like Logan the goon, and she went through the vent. What have you been doing? Never mind. I don't even want to know what you've been doing. And like,
the poor guy's just sitting in his car in the garage.
Right. Like just, brief little comical moment and all the chaos and all the creepiness. You still have like that, just, and I gotta wonder if like something like that was even like could have been like an improv sort of, situation where he's, but regardless, it's like, he's like even says like the hunt is on and all of this stuff. And then we see Sarah running through the trees again. And okay, now wait a minute. You were probably like downtown, like, and now now you're back in the woods. Like
downtown somewhere. Go to a fucking police station. or any kind of building that has a phone. Like,
why are you going back to the trees, Sarah? That was where you were taken from before, honey. Like, come on, like don't. I don't know what that intention was. Maybe they just, they filmed a lot of scenes there, wanted to get their money's worth. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But it just, that kind of cracked me up. It's like, honey, you're downtown. Go and find anyone and just be like, they would know who you are. Okay. You're Sarah Garrett. They know who you are. But no, she runs through the trees, and then there's a deserted road, and then there's a car with headlights, and then the episode is over. But it's just like, oh, Sarah. Okay. Like, on one hand, you're climbing through ceiling vents like a boss, but then you run back to basically where you were abducted from before. It's like, you gotta, she can't win.
Exactly. It's kind of like running upstairs in a horror movie. Like, it's not gonna work.
Exactly. But I still, though, those scenes, I mean, they were obviously pivotal to the episode. They were important. They were supremely well acted, but just never going to get over that creep factor. I think that's like probably his peak creepy moment. I'm trying to think if there's any others that follow, but definitely, I think it was the deep breathing and the hair sniffing that really just like,
it's just that whispering, that you have to pay attention. You have to listen.
Yeah.
He's saying it just so low, and so it's like that uncomfortable intimacy.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And it's just, and then even like the dead-eyed sort of look when Sarah says she loves him too. Mm-hmm. The look on her face just said it all. I was like, oh man, like all it takes is, queen of facial expressions. She says it, but her eyes are just like dead and glazed over. She's just like, yep, no, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting away from you. Climbing up through a vent. This is not happening.
Which I thought was great. So let's hope that she ends up getting somewhere next week. And
because otherwise Pete is going to lose his poor little mind. Poor Pete. We saw him in full throes of a breakdown, in this episode. And again, with the incredible acting. I mean, Christos in this, my God. There's so many, emotional, really well done scenes, with him. But, he's obviously this whole arc with Sarah, but today it's like we really see like the emotions and him just like hitting his breaking point. The episode is called Breaking, and it just totally fits. Like he did a supreme job in that.
Yeah, he, well, for him, he's coming by. He wants to make sure that the guards are keeping track of Adam. Like the minute he wakes up, he wants to know about it. Because he's even conferring with the officer saying, take care of him and, make sure nobody gets to him, whatever. And then, the surgeon comes out and says, gives Pete an update. And then we find out that Adam has a crushed skull.
Yeah.
A fractured skull. And they have to, get the swelling down. And Adam needs a blood transfusion.
Yep.
So,
which, I guess, I mean, okay, you want to get blood, obviously, to a patient that's dealing, obviously in need of transfusion, stuff like that. But I need it from my twin. It's not like, I'm assuming the hospital has blood bank.
Right. Maybe they haven't established that Adam and Pete have a very rare blood type,
Yeah, like
I mean, unless there's a blood shortage,
Which there could be, I suppose.
Yeah.
There could be, but that just kind of took me out of it for a second. It's like, okay, so in addition to, like, Adam needing, or Pete needing answers from Adam, he also has to be like, yep, I got to give the guy blood because I'm the only one who
Yeah.
can, because I'm his twin.
Because I like how yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's just all this stuff on Pete right now, because then we
Yeah.
see Lex and Evan kind of talking about it, and Lex is like, I need a an APB out on Steve Jensen, and Evan's like, why? What, we don't have any evidence. He's like, well, we have, Sarah's still missing, and we're trying everything. We know he has her, and which again, that should be enough for an APB, knowing that Jensen has her.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You would think.
I was like, well, let's wait for Adam to wake up, because he can tell us exactly what's going on, and then he comes. It's going to be a while.
Yeah. Like fractured skull. And even if, he wasn't waking up right away, the whole fractured skull thing probably doesn't bode that well for him remembering very much about Sarah and about everything that just transpired. But when Pete is just like, basically when he kind of is talking with, just recapping almost everything that he's kind of endured in the past several episodes, like, when he says, we searched all over for her, we went to Europe, and she wasn't there, and now, like, like, it just, he basically just recaps all, like, the hell that he has gone through in the past several episodes in the search for Sarah, and dealing with Adam, and dealing with this now with the injuries and everything like that. And it's just like, you just want to go up and hug the guy. Like, oh my gosh. It's just, you realize, like, yeah, they've put him through all stages of hell, and now he's finally, like, reached his point where he can't handle it anymore.
I like the scene where Daniel comes in, and he's looking through the, he comes in frantic, and he's looking through the the windows. The cops won't let him to go see Adam, and then he sees RJ coming down and says, "Yeah, I'm here. I got your text. It's about Pete." And Pete's like, "Well, Pete's in trouble." Okay, is he a patient? Oh no, he's not a patient. And it's just like, you work in a hospital. You're gonna text somebody saying that Pete's in trouble. Your mind automatically thinks he's a patient.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it was a little, you could tell though RJ was like frazzled, but at the same time, it's like there's probably a better way to have had that dialogue with someone. Like, you're new at the hospital, you're kind of new to this, but you gotta make sure that you're kind of not alarming people unnecessarily.
But I mean, Pete did need the support system there.
Oh, absolutely.
Pete needed Daniel as a sounding board, and I just thought that was a fantastic scene, and
oh yeah, no,
it's kind of lighthearted type of scene.
Lighthearted to lead into what was like a really emotional moment. Like, I just loved how Daniel just kept on saying, like, it's we're gonna find your mom. Adam is gonna wake up. Everything is going to be okay. Them telling each other that they loved each other. It was just like, I wrote down, like, emotional boys expressing emotions. And
exactly.
it was just like, it was such like a good moment. And then Pete, like, kind of gets like a little bolstered up. He's just like, yeah, my mom's coming home. Yeah, we got this. It's like he needed that, like you said, the support system there. And the way that they kind of congregated and came about doing that it was a nice blend of humor leading into what was a really well acted emotional scene. And it's nice to just see, like, him, like, leaning on his guys in the midst of all of this, and knowing that, like, things are going to be okay. Like, that was just super powerful and super well done.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And the other scene, kind of switching gears, because Pete's going out of his mind. He's got he's obviously gearing up to have to give blood for Adam.
Yeah, because he's his twin with the magic blood.
I think the stress comes down to the fact that Adam holds the answers to where Sarah might be, and Pete feels like if he doesn't give blood, he's like, I don't care if the guy suffers or not, but I have to keep him alive.
Yeah. I mean, he said twice over though, and I love, like, and Lex said it too, how, like, you're going to have to keep me from killing him when he wakes up. Like they've all said that multiple times. It's like they want this guy dead. They don't, but they know that he is their last like link to wherever Sarah's located, you know, like who was it? Like, you know, Lex saying like she could be on the freaking moon by now if we're not careful. You know, it's like, you know, they realize this. But yeah, if not everybody like wants to just, you know, go after that man for what he did and just, you know, make him suffer. So much drama, so much intensity.
Oh yeah. Well, the other thing that made me laugh when Nardo ran into Riley.
Oh yeah, that was another. You know, like, little lighthearted moments like that. You know, because
she was just scene. All over the place. Like I wanted to like him to kind of grab her and be like, slow down, calm down, just
he just kind of nods. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I love the way he kind of played that and just kind of handled it. It was just so funny. It's, you know, because she's all like, you know, coming in like a house of fire, you know, tells him about Tobin being out of town, which already kind of throws, you know, him for a loop because he's just not expecting that Nardo's like, you know, just packed up and left, or that Tobin's just packed up and left. You know, and then like, but then, you know, she's like, you know, offering to like, you know, help find another, like she's like just trying to do so much all at once, and you could just see like her wheels turning in her brain. And you know, it was just so funny. Like his reaction is just like, okay, there's this woman who's just like going on and on and on, and I just, you know, I got what I needed, thank you, I gotta go now.
Does Riley runs Romantica now, doesn't she?
I think so, yeah, most likely, because
I cannot picture her as a CEO.
No, I'd be a little skeptical of that myself, you know, like
very skeptical.
Yeah. I mean, just it was just kind of a funny little, you know, I like that she was scattered. I can appreciate why she was scattered, and I can appreciate it was just, but it was a comical little sort of thing, you know, but his reaction was just great there.
But we find out that while Nardo and Liana are talking, that, you know, Arthur Tobin, you know, skipped town.
Yeah.
We find out that, you know, the doctor comes over and says, well, I can help you with a new lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then we get a little kind of,
Tony's
throwback.
Back. Tony's coming back to town.
Yep.
You know, who happens to be everything is all incestuous because there's the doctor is Tony's sister. You know, so it's all
RJ is her nephew RJ. So, you know, you got Marley's past, you know, Marley's son, you know, and Marley's past love, you know, he's rolling back into town. Last time we saw him with his son was a lot younger. So
but after looking at the preview, it's really nice to see Sean Blakemore playing the character of Tony. Mm-hmm. I wish he was still on GH, but and then I also saw him in 13 Reasons Why. So he's a great actor.
Yeah. No, it's kind of a cool kind of, you know, it was a little bit of like a throwback to like that whole kind of, you know, it's like, but I love it when they just kind of weave in characters like that kind of unexpectedly and just kind of be like, oh yeah, by the way, I know this top-notch lawyer, by the way, he's also totally connected to town, and even Liana acknowledging that history there and just saying like, well, the last time, you know, we didn't really, things were a little bit tense and there was a little bit of trouble, so, you know, just kind of, you know, bringing that into the mix again was kind of a cool little twist.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it was fantastic. It was a good throwback episode, you know, good throwback history lesson, you know, just to kind of tie things together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was back in Bay the beginning. That was at Brian and Zoe's wedding.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because
was it Brian and Zoe's wedding or Marley's funeral? No, it was Brian and Zoe's wedding.
Right, because he ends up like, you know,
he leaves. That's right.
He leaves, and then, you know, yes.
Wedding, I don't think Liana went to the funeral, so.
Right. No, he had and he'd taken RJ with him.
Yeah. Yep.
When RJ was just a little boy. That was a big boy.
Yes.
But
Um,
yeah, no, that was a fun little kind of, just layer that they added into this
it
episode,
was.
and twining in, the doctor, and she's great, her just, interactions with Liana, with Nardo, everything like that, just kind of a, you know, I'm here to help, kind of like, help you out with your situation, because obviously, we don't have Tobin, like, Riley
Right.
providing us with that info. So yeah, we need another lawyer, top-notch lawyer in town.
Yeah, exactly. And then we go ahead and one last scene. We see Tamara sneaking into a house, going to a safe. Are we under the assumption that's Jensen's?
I believe that the thing is, though, prior to that little kind of moment, we got a little taste with John Blackwell.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So we had, Jack reaching out for obvious reasons, trying to, he's trying to figure out exactly where his daughter is and is panicking, and the cops aren't really helping. So he decides that he's going to make a last ditch effort to reach out to his son, which,
Yep.
it's still kind of, I still kind of forget. It's weird that I had forgotten that, like, oh yeah, that is father and son.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's just like but we see John Blackwell in Shanghai, I believe, is where they said he was. The
Yeah.
caption is what that read, and he's living it up, and
He's living the
has
life.
has a friend, found a friend in Shanghai. The two of them are obviously enjoying themselves, and then we have it where he gets his phone call, and Jack is like, you need to come back to town, you need to come back to help find Sarah. And then we kind of launched into the Tamara scene where she's sneaking around in her cute little spy outfit with her little gloves, cracking safes
Yeah.
now, which,
Even
okay,
as a
man,
spy, she's got to be
yeah,
fashionable.
yeah, oh no, of course, and I don't know if she had the combo to that safe, or if she just became like an expert when she was in Europe at like just spy craft or something. Maybe John Blackwell taught her some tricks, I don't know. But she looks like, just a little cat burglar thing, going in there and retrieving the flash drive and what looked like a folder. So it looks as if that evidence that, they say is going to stay buried,
Yeah.
obviously. But see, the thing is, it could have been Jensen's, but it also could have been, because didn't John Blackwell say that they had kind of made sure that all of that was taken care of and square? So maybe it's connected to Evan or John.
No, I'm thinking that was her sex tape.
Yeah, but they had said that they were containing that evidence, so that's what makes me
Oh,
wonder. Unless she broke it, unless Steve still happened to have it, but I either way, she has her hands on it now. But just
yeah.
the John, I think just seeing John Blackwell again made me think that, like, wait a minute, is it like, he
The
had the
story's not
evidence?
over.
Yeah, yeah. So, we got that in the mix there too, because
Yeah.
got to have our, another detective in town to try and, ride to the rescue and help Sarah, our man of mystery.
Yes.
Obviously, that woman that he knew from Belgium, though, obviously that
Yeah.
didn't really, hold up, whatever their arrangement was, because Shanghai's pretty far away from there. So
Yeah. Much farther, and who knows? Maybe he just has multiple women in multiple zip codes.
he could international man of mystery and all of that.
Yeah. He'll be like Austin Powers.
Yes.
Only less or a little bit more serious.
Yeah. A little bit more grounded. The whole
Yeah.
detective thing. But
Um,
yeah, that was a fun little twist seeing him again, and just and Jack kind of setting up that distress call, because
yeah.
we gotta get Sarah home already. Poor woman needs to change that shirt, get away from the
Yeah.
woods.
I mean, time frame wise, it's been weeks, right? It's been at least weeks. I'm assuming maybe closer to months.
I mean, if you think like when Adam, spanning from when he brought her to, like, broke into her house and abducted her from her bed, basically, like, said, like, we're going, mother, and all of that, I'd say at least like a couple of weeks. So yeah, she's like, she's been going through it now. And now, just
Yeah.
running around, and it's like, my gosh, get her out of the woods already, though.
Yeah. Right. But I think we touched on everything.
I think so too. I think so too. And,
Yeah.
and I think we touched on like the little kind of little nuances that we liked, and the little moments, and just the little dribs and drabs of humor that were kind of sprinkled in throughout, which
Mhm.
makes it fun, especially in the midst of
Yes.
dramatic and creepy sort of scenes and dramatic and emotional scenes that we got as well. So yeah, overall, just and the episode felt shorter today. I think it was only I think the runtime was a little bit less.
Just about 20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, but still a lot going on. A
Packed
lot
the
of setup
punch.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And at the very least, it made you really, really creeped out by Steve.
Yeah.
If there's one takeaway.
Yes, of course. It's Steve Jensen creeping people out.
Yep.
But yeah, that's about it, folks. I mean, next week we'll be back reviewing season 5, episode number 3.
Yes.
And it's, again, folks, just enjoy the soap genre. Now that we have Beyond the Gates on, there's 5 network, soaps. NBC is still the only network without, but they have days on Peacock, which I think it's a good move. Stay on Peacock because you never have to worry about preemptions. You never have to worry about
That's true.
anything.
We do have that in our favor. Yeah. I just wish that they'd throw a little bit more budget its way.
Well, I'm sure it has a bigger budget on Peacock than it does on NBC. So
yeah. I don't know. You look at the sets for Beyond the Gates, and you look at you just get very and yet we see the same. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of set envy now that I'm watching.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna have. They don't update the sets as much as they should. Like that hospital set on Days needs a serious renovation.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need some upgrades.
And it would be nice if the townhouses where 2 respected doctors and their investigator husbands reside weren't like tiny little apartments that are just change out the decor and it's basically the same. I mean, come on, like we could do a little bit better. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe seeing beyond, maybe it'll lift everybody up, as you said.
Exactly.
And maybe we'll see a little bit more love thrown at the set deck for Days and amongst the others.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Well, folks, it's been great talking. I mean, as always, we enjoy the Bay. Go on there, go the Bay. All right, so here we go. Amazon Prime has Bay the Beginning as its own series, but then the Bay up until I believe season 7, and then Peacock has season 1 through season 7 through season 6.
Yes.
Tubi TV has season 1 through season 8.
Yes.
And then Popstar has season 1 through season 8 on demand. And then season 9 is currently playing during their daily time slot.
That's correct.
So it's everywhere, folks. You can find it anywhere. It's just a matter of when you get to the later seasons, you got to switch over to something else.
Yep. But it's there for the taking. So
yes, exactly. I hope you guys enjoyed the show like we do. Definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and definitely like the video, share to just help the algorithm. Well, go ahead and just enjoy the show. That's what the thing is. Enjoy our show.
Soaps,
yes, enjoy the soaps.
Show the genre of love.
Because you got to think about it. Everything is on demand nowadays, whether it's DVR or actually on the streamer. There's no reason to miss out on anything other than the fact that there's not enough time in the day to watch, 5 soap operas.
Right.
All right. Well, that's about it. As always, Kim, where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on Twitter. I am also I have a Blue Sky profile, which I might try and, do some crossover stuff there, but I am Misfit8690 on Twitter. So feel free to reach out to me there. And like I said, Blue Sky, I'm going to try and get over there as well. So.
All right. And as always, I'm at Vinny Suds for my personal Twitter and Facebook, at Suds Media on Twitter as well. At Suds and Squirt Social Media on Instagram and Facebook, so and Threads, and I think it's at Suds Media on Blue Sky, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, we're all over the place. Look at the show notes underneath the show because all of our links are down there. But anyways, we're done with this episode. We'll be back next week. Kim's going to be on 2 shows next week. She'll be live with us on Monday night at 10 p.m. for Gate Crashers, which is all about Beyond the Gates, and then Dockside next week. So we will be back, and we'll see you next time. Dockside at the Bay. Have a great night, everybody.
Take care.